Alright, what's up guys? JR here. It is Wednesday, August the 2nd, 2017, and we've got a pretty nice short setup right here. So basically the bias has been down all day today. Got my trend line off these first two swings. Initially I wasn't too sure of where the bottom was, but after we got these bounces down here, I went ahead and dragged the line down there. We flipped, put a midline in there. It fits pretty nicely. And then this is our third touch, which actually confirms our trend line. We have a nice bearish bar after a short-term trend line working up. We had a break, move to a new high, then a nice bearish bar right off the trend line, good ways away from the EMA, and it's looking like a pretty nice setup to me. So I went ahead and took that. Just going to go ahead and mark that already, and it should turn out to be a pretty nice trade. Going to go for 1 point on the first contract, and then I will go, I'm just going to take off the second one a few ticks before the other end of the for the lower end of our trend channel line. So we'll see how this thing goes. I may look for a measured move depending on how this thing starts moving. And yeah, hopefully it just turns out to be a good trade. It's looking pretty nice to me. Third touch of the trend line, had a short-term trend working up, break, moved to a new high. Everything closed within that trend line really nicely. Pretty bearish bar, and it should be nice. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh yeah, and I switched platforms, got everything situated with my broker and all that. Excuse me, I just dropped my phone, but I got everything situated with my broker and all that. Initially I was going to go with Sierra charts. I tried that for all of 2 hours and realized that it wasn't going to work. I don't know if it was an issue with my data or it was just the way that the platform was processing the bars, but pretty much my bars, the opens and closes were pretty far off. So for example, let's say that this bar closes right here, the next bar would open maybe 2 or 3 ticks higher somewhere in the middle of the bar, and this was happening consistently for about like 6 to 10 bars in a row. So everything pretty much looked like overlap, and this was going on in various regions all throughout the chart, which it made it difficult to really interpret what prices were doing. So I realized that I probably couldn't use that. Switched over to multi-charts and I haven't had that problem, so that's a good thing. The only real complaint I have about this platform is that for some reason it seems to be filling my orders before it even touches them, and it just happened again with this trade. I put a stop down there, it didn't touch my order, but yet and still it put me in the trade. I don't like that. I actually lost a trade like that, I think maybe 2 weeks ago or so. It put me in a trade without it officially triggering, and it went ahead and stopped me out, and that kind of pissed me off because I can't afford to have that happen when I'm actually trading live. So I guess I need to get that situated. If any of you guys use multi-charts and you know if that's happened to you and you know how to possibly resolve that, please let me know. And another thing is that the ticks and my P&L seem to be a tad bit off. So for example, as you can see right now, the price is 68.50, but my entrance is 68.25, but yet and still it says that I'm down by 2 ticks when in actuality I'm only down by 1. It doesn't appear to be updating in sync with the actual difference between my entry price and the current price. I don't know if that's just like a setting that I need to tweak or what, but yeah, you see right now it says -2 ticks. Maybe it's calculating it for the contracts, but that could be it. It could be saying -2 ticks because this is 2 contracts. I don't know. Well, no, because I don't know if you noticed, but it just went down and it said -1 tick when it was on my entrance. I don't know. I don't really feel like thinking about this or trying to explain it right now. The point is that it's a little bit off and we're supposed to be talking about this trade. So yeah, I'm on a new platform. I'm going to trade this thing probably at least until September, October, and then I'll go ahead and change from, because basically I have a live account now. All I have to do is click this and then switch to actual live trade. I'm probably going to trade this simulator for at least another month or so until the market really picks back up and I'm comfortable and everything feels good and natural, and then I'll swap back. Haven't uploaded in about a week or two. I've been pretty busy. a lot's been going on with trying to get things all settled with the platform, and just in general, my life, I've been, I guess, more busy these past couple weeks, but things have been slowing down again, so I should get back into the grind and swing of things. But gonna go to pause. Been talking for a while, and yeah, I'll be back as soon as something changes with this trade. First, let me evaluate where my stop is. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my stop right there at the 2 points because that's 2 ticks above my signal bar, and I like to leave it at 2 ticks because it gives you a bit more room and it's just safer. So I'll be back once we get some form of a change. Alright, so we are tapping off my first exit right now. So that first contract is going to come off at 1 point. And then the second contract, I decided to go for a nice 7 points on that. Alright, so the first one is out. Let me go ahead and move my stop to break even. So I decided to go for a nice 7 points on that second contract. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can make this a nice 8-point trade. And yeah, we'll see what happens, but in the meantime, just gonna go back to pause and I will be back. Alright, it's looking like we might get stopped out here. I really wanted this to be my last trade of the day, but if something else sets up in this region, we just got stopped out. If something else sets up in this region, since this is such a good place to enter, I may go ahead and look for another entry and see if I can ride it back down to the lows. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit and see what happens. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can get a setup right here. Basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this bar to break above this bar and then turn down underneath the EMA, or it can pop back up and touch this trend line. It really doesn't matter to me, but what I'm looking for is a failed second entry long combined with a second entry short. So hopefully we get that set up, and then I can take this to the downside and we get a nice push to retest these lows, and maybe if we're lucky we'll come all the way down and test the lower end of this trend line. So we'll see what happens, but back to pause in the meantime. It looks like this thing might take off without us. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, it's looking like we might bounce right there. As long as we get some form of a pullback, I'm still going to take this thing to the downside. I'm just hoping that it doesn't run off and leave us behind, and I didn't wait for nothing. But yeah, I'll be back. Alright, now as long as we turn up, go a tick or two higher than this, and then turn down with a nice bearish bar, this is going to be a perfect setup. So hopefully that's what it gives us, because we have resistance right here, the trend line working down, second entry long, just waiting on this thing to fail, and then that'll be beautiful. Alright guys, it's not looking too promising, so that being said, I'm going to call it quits. And yeah, I got my trades for the day. I went short right here on the failed second entry long, and then I went short again up top here. So I'm satisfied with that. Unfortunately, I missed this one. I wasn't quite at my desk. I think I'd turned on my computer. I hadn't sat down yet, and I saw that thing set up, and then boom. That would have been a good trade. This one, it's a second entry short. I was more so looking at the failed breakout and wasn't really expecting a major sell-off to happen like that, so that caught me off guard. And then I was more prepared for this one. I like that one. And then this is just that's a giveaway. That's a freebie right there, so you have to take that. But that being said, it's unfortunate that I didn't get a setup right here. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm starving. I've been sitting here all day, and it doesn't always work out the way you wanted it to or the way you expected. So yeah, this is JR. I'll see you guys probably sometime next week. Take care. Hopefully you had a good trading day. We had some pretty decent movement today, which is nice. Not a lot of trades, but there's still some pretty clear, easy trades. This is a dead giveaway in my opinion. This one is a little bit more discreet, and then this is just obvious. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. This is JR. See you sometime next week. Take care.